Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a man named Elias. He was a humble, kind-hearted soul who spent his days working as a carpenter. Despite his hard work, Elias barely made enough to get by. He lived in a modest cottage that he had built himself, and though it was small, it was cozy and full of warmth. However, his poverty did not bother him much, for he was content with the simple life he led. In the same village, there was a grand mansion perched on the highest hill, owned by a wealthy family. The lady of the house was a beautiful, graceful woman named Serafina. She was known throughout the land not just for her beauty, but also for her intelligence and kindness. Many suitors, both rich and powerful, had sought her hand in marriage, but she had turned them all away. Serafina longed for something deeper than wealth or status. She yearned for love, sincerity, and a connection that could not be bought. One day, as Serafina was riding through the village, her horse suddenly threw a shoe. She had no choice but to stop at the nearest house, which happened to be Elias's cottage, to seek help. When she knocked on the door, Elias answered with a gentle smile. He immediately offered to help her, and with skillful hands, he quickly repaired the horse's shoe. As Serafina watched him work, she was struck by his genuine kindness and the quiet dignity with which he carried himself. Elias, on the other hand, couldn't help but notice how different she was from the other wealthy people he had encountered. She was not arrogant or dismissive. Instead, she spoke to him with respect and gratitude. After that day, Serafina found herself thinking about Elias often. She would visit the village more frequently, finding excuses to stop by his cottage. They would talk for hours, sharing stories of their lives and dreams. The more they got to know each other, the deeper their bond grew. Despite the vast difference in their social standings, Serafina and Elias fell deeply in love. Serafina knew that her family and society would never approve of their relationship, but she didn't care. She saw in Elias a man of true worth, someone who valued love, honesty, and hard work above all else. One evening, under the soft glow of the setting sun, Serafina made a decision. She took Elias's hands in hers and said, "Elias, I don't care about wealth or status. I love you for who you are, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you." Elias was taken aback. He had always admired Serafina, but he had never imagined that someone as rich and beautiful as her could love someone as poor as him. "But Serafina," he said hesitantly, "I have nothing to offer you. I am just a poor carpenter." Serafina smiled and shook her head. "You have given me more than any wealth ever could. You've given me love, and that is worth more than all the riches in the world." Moved by her words, Elias embraced her, and they decided to marry despite the obstacles they knew they would face. When Serafina's family learned of her intentions, they were outraged. They could not understand why she would choose a poor carpenter over the wealthy suitors who had come to court her. But Serafina stood firm in her decision. She explained to her family that wealth does not determine a person's worth, and that true happiness comes from love and companionship. Eventually, seeing the strength of Serafina's love for Elias, her family relented. They realized that no amount of wealth or status could bring Serafina the joy she had found in Elias. The wedding was a simple affair, held in the village church with only a few close friends and family members present. Despite its modesty, it was a celebration of true love. Serafina and Elias exchanged vows, promising to love and cherish each other for the rest of their days. After their marriage, they lived happily in the same cozy cottage where Elias had first met Serafina. Though they lived simply, their home was filled with love and laughter. Serafina's wealth was used to help others in the village, improving the lives of those less fortunate. The villagers admired their love and the generosity that flowed from it. Serafina and Elias showed that true happiness doesn't come from wealth or status, but from a heart full of love and a life lived together. And so, the rich woman and the poor man lived happily ever after, proving that love knows no boundaries and that the truest riches are found in the heart. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe this channel because there will be more interesting story.